If there was ever a movie that can make someone who is not a fan of a particular franchise or genre turn into a fan of the movie in the same genre, is In a Violent Nature. It's actually supposed to be released on May 31st, but I managed to watch one today because there are openings throughout May 29th all the way through May 31st where it'll be officially released. And I'm gonna have to tell you this right now, I really like this movie, and it's shown in the perspective as the killer instead of the teenage victims most killers are trying to slaughter. And the killer's name is so bland because it's just Johnny, but you kind of forget that as you're watching the movie because this nigga is actually brutal. And one thing I really liked about the movie, one aspect about it, is the camera is over the shoulder of the silent killer throughout most of the movie. And it replicates the first scene of the first ever Halloween movie where a young Michael Myers has a mask over his head and you can see the killing through his eyes. But the difference is that it's not actually his eyes you're seeing it's the back of him. So think about like you're playing a third person open world video game. That's kind of how it is. I really like the pacing of this movie because, like I said earlier, it feels like a video game. So the main character is feeling like he's just walking from checkpoint to checkpoint because that's what most of the movie is. It's just walking, really. It's like soothing, relaxing walking. It doesn't make you sleepy in a way. It just keeps you calm because you don't expect what happens after. And like the checkpoint to checkpoint is from kill to kill. And it always tricked me into being comfortable with some scenes and not knowing I'll be surprised by a gruesome kill when I will least expect it. And I also like how we hear Johnny's backstory and this movie's like world's past events, because instead of hearing some long exposition scene that explains who he is, his intentions, what he's about, we hear the backstory of Johnny and the whole world. It's like spaced out throughout the whole movie. It's not like just one long scene. It's like it's even some sentences that are cut off when Johnny kills a teen. Like there are some teens in the movie that talk about the mysterious legend in the woods, or they talk about the serial killer that in this particular place, but it's interrupted by Johnny just killing them. So I liked how they kind of became innovative in retelling the world's history. And I'll be honest, like those early reviews that are saying that like everyone in the movie theaters will be thrown up, will be taking a shit, will be just crying and screaming, it's a little bit overhyped. You know, the kills are gruesome, the scenes are very gruesome, I like it, but it didn't really make a lot of people do any of that. You know, it just made them like gasp, you know, it made them react in fear, you know, reacting like in horror, and it made me react as well. So in my opinion, I do think that's effective in horror movies and slasher movies. And I also liked how the scenes and the camera shots, like it really captures the scary aura of being chased by a killer in the woods when it's nighttime and even daytime, because he has kills in the daytime. And this movie is mostly captured in the woods, so it's kind of like a documentary that has serial killing in it, you know, because like it's mostly captured in the woods, so it makes you feel that you're actually in the woods being chased by a killer. So I really like this movie. It has some slow parts, some boring parts, don't get me wrong. It's not a perfect horror movie, but it's effective with the kills, it's effective with the setting, it's effective with how it makes sense. And as you can see with the reviews, IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is currently sitting at an 89%. Like, even though IMDb is at 5 out of 10, like, I like this movie. I think it's effective. But that's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.